Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a bold and beguiling bounty of bitchin' blue radiance edition of Monster Party.
Monster Party.
Monster Party. Monster Party. Oh, Monster Party. You know where you can find monsters? On Blu-rays. That's what I hear.
That's true.
Yes. Yeah, and there are some great companies that create these Blu-rays strictly for people like us. But before we get to that, I am Matt Weinhold.
I am SHAWN SHERIDAN.
I am Larry STROTHE.
And I'm James GONIS.
And for this episode, we are going to dig deep into the world of, I guess you could call them obscure horror, science fiction, exploitation, maybe
non-mainstream.
Yeah, right, exactly. Something that maybe you're not going to see at the multiplex on a Wednesday during the afternoon. But I wish that, yes, very much. Also international. Yeah, films from all over the world. So the title of this topic is Twisted Blu-ray Gems.
Twisted Blu-ray Gems.
Twisted Blu-ray Gems.
So cool.
You know, guys, did you ever think that we would live in a world where the most obscure, crazy film that maybe we just heard about years ago is finally on Blu-ray of all things, sometimes in 4K?
Yeah, but you guys remember years ago when you went video rentals and there would be rows and rows of videos and you would see like a title go, oh, what is that?
Right,
and
yes.
Those days are kind of gone. And it's
That's true, unfortunately.
How do you find these things? Where do you learn about them? Where would you even get it to put it on Blu-ray? It's crazy.
Right.
Sean, where would we find someone who could answer these questions?
Yes. Well, as you guys know, this topic is, of course, right in my wheelhouse. And
Yes.
our guest is a perfect fit for this show. He is a man of many trades. As a DJ, he is a member of the Los Angeles-based Rendezvous, which is a collective of obsessed soundtrack collectors and cult movie fans.
Wow.
He's also the co-founder of the record label Empire of Tombs, which specializes in rare and obscure film scores on vinyl. And very appropriately for this podcast, he's the content manager and representative for the cult cinema Blu-ray company Severin Films. Please welcome Ethan Hull.
Ethan Hull!
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
We wanted to have you on the show for ages. I
Yes.
see you at Monster Palooza.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. We've interviewed you over there. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And it's always a blast when you guys come by. And yeah, I'm always down to talk movies with everybody, which is why I get sent to the conventions to put movies in people's hands because I love it. Totally. love it.
And the Severin table is always filled with people like looking like, what is this? What is this? They're always clamoring for your stuff.
That is definitely part of the discovery and part of the thrill for me personally is being able to talk to people that maybe aren't familiar with our films. And, you know, I get to talk to people and say, hey, what's something that you watched recently that you were into? And they can pretty much name anything. And I've got a movie that I can put in your hands that I feel is going to entertain you, blow your mind, and keep you coming back. And I see a rabid group of people that I've literally started from scratch. I don't know any of these movies, you know, and I can give you that movie, put it in your hands, and make you a believer.
Right. Yeah. Well, real quick before we get into Severin, though, I'm curious about your background. Like, were you always a cult film fan? Were you always into music and soundtrack?
Yeah. So, I mean, as far back as I can remember. So when I was super young, the movie that really did it for me as a kid was when I was 4 years old on TV. And this is like in the 80s. Of course, we had a lot of, like the Saturday kind of like monster movies, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I saw Night of the Living Dead on TV and it just completely just blew my mind. I mean, it's like one of those moments when you see a movie and it just rewires your brain. And then everything after that was just like, I want more of this. Like,
wait, how old were you?
Yeah,
wait, you're
4 years old?
Yeah, I was four years old,
God.
and it scared the shit out of me, and but it made me like it made me feel all of the things, you know, like it just took places as a 4-year-old that I didn't know. And it just, the concept of, nobody really lives. Like, it just completely.
No, it's true.
Right.
You learned that lesson early. It made you a better person.
It really, I mean, it did, but it's also one of those things that it really just opened the floodgates for me, where I was just like, after that, I was kind of never the same. And I went on this journey. I say this kind of jokingly, but my parents were divorced. So my mom was very much like, did not like horror movies. And at an early age, I remembered her mother, my grandmother, loved horror movies. So when I would go to my grandmother's house, we would watch horror movies together. And my mom used to tell me this story about when she was growing up, her mom made her go and see in the drive-in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and she hid in the back seat the entire time. So when she told me this, of course, I'm like, I've got to see this movie, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. First of all, I mean, and I know it's been said 1,000 times, but the title alone is just like, if you have a brain in your head, like I think I need to see that. And and sure enough, like when you finally meet that grisly, sweaty monster, it is, again, one of those experiences. You come out the other end and you're not the same.
Right.
True. I mean, one of the most terrifying films of all time. I think it's definitely in my top 5 favorite horror movies.
Yeah.
It's true that title says it all. You kind of know what you're getting into.
And both those films, Night of the Living Dead and Texas Chainsaw, were absolute cinema game changers.
Watershed moments for cinema, for sure. And I mean, Tobe Hooper and George Romero have remained, like, I would say, personal heroes of mine because of what they did, especially with mediocre budgets and, largely remaining independent. Hooper is also an interesting person because he's like somebody, too, that is still like, even when he was making commercial films, it's still like, it seems like he never really got his due. Like, it seems like Poltergeist, he's sidelined by Spielberg and that whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, where people are like, oh, there's probably this involvement. But if you look at that movie's scary as shit. And there's obviously so many moments that are pure.
No, it's scary. It is.
It is.
Well, and also they even a movie like Life Force, which bombed at the time, but now
we're talking.
Life Force. I love that movie.
Okay. Also, can we just say, like, in the 80s, seeing Life Force in that complete and total nudity?
Matilda May.
I mean,
Matilda May.
As a kid, I was just like, I think I love this movie. Like,
there was when Matilda May comes out completely naked like that, and I took my first look at her, I gasped. I mean, it was one of those moments where I was like, I didn't think anyone could be this gorgeous. And I went, I think there's going to be better stuff ahead.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can still remember, too, when that movie was coming out, I bought a Fangoria that had Life Force on the cover. I want to say that was like 1985, right? That sounds about right.
I think so. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
And just looking at the photos and everything, and then seeing the film and just being like, it's like a space vampire opera, apocalyptic, like just, I mean, a banana film.
Got everything.
Pure sci-fi pulp.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So I was a video store kid. I was definitely like just running amok in video stores. And, back in the day, of course, it was, pre-internet days.
You
would go in and it was box art. You would look at stuff like, you're looking at a movie like Microwave Massacre. Is the guy opening his microwave with a head on a plate. And I'm just going, I don't know what this is, but I got to watch it.
Rent it now.
Yeah. So you're just in that kind of process of discovery. Naturally, because I love Night of the Living Dead, I watched all the zombie movies I could find. Right. I got into, like the Halloween and slasher movies, because that was a big thing in the 80s. And but it was just a process of discovery. And as I aged, it never went away. I was always looking for movies that I hadn't seen. Obviously getting more savvy with directors and stuff. So that started to enter more in my mindset. And I would say in the 90s, a teenager, you get a little bit more savvy and, like Romero, Hooper, these guys, Dario Argento, and
Fulci,
playing around in that sandbox and discovering stuff. So
it's the archaeological aspect of it, which I love, because you're right. I mean, I have a huge collection of Blu-rays of mostly cult drive-in exploitation films, but there's always some new film I'm discovering that I never heard of.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's incredible, and
it's amazing how many movies have been made just in general. My God, there's always something more.
Yeah. There really is. And I mean, especially considering the odds of so many of these low budget movies, as we all know, like it's you versus the world. And, these movies have a lack of proper crews, money, all of these things. And against all of those odds still come together to find themselves, getting made in ramshackle ways sometimes. But I think that those results and sort of having a line in the sand where it's like, well, we don't have any more money, so it's got to be done this way, like the the all or nothing way. Really gives those movies the distinct edge that I think now in this age of anything is possible with computers, AI, and it kind of takes away from that fun of having a ceiling.
Absolutely. And, the films that Severin offers, you look at a lot of these movies and you see this ingenuity and you see working beyond your budget, and you get films that are going to look and feel like nothing else. And we're never going to get those kind of films, unfortunately, again, for the most part, because nobody really makes films like that. I mean, we have a handful of directors that are doing their best to keep that aesthetic alive, but we're talking a golden age. I mean, I feel very fortunate to have grown up during the time that I grew up and to have access and to see these game-changing movies, on the big screen.
Yeah, it's hard, I think, now, especially talking to younger people, that discovering something like that for the first time and having no reference point for some of it too. Like, the first time I saw a movie like Maniac, like it felt like you were dragged through the gutters of 42nd Street.
Yes.
Like it's a movie that's very much of its place and of its time, and you just feel it in every frame of the film.
Yeah.
And sort of having that experience where you know nothing about it, so you just go in completely blind and it just kicks your ass. And that thing about it was so exciting. And I think that's what I love the most about like the video store age, was that sometimes you would go in and you would rent a stinker, and then other times you would go in and pull a movie like Phantasm, and I'm like, what is this?
Right.
What is this?
Yeah.
What is this? The cover, like that poster art, you're so like, there's a coffin and there's this weird
did I dream this? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
But I mean, it was such a just like, when you experience that for the first time, again, it just completely rocks you. And it was, I still have those moments where I get goosebumps talking about movies like that, because it's so exciting and cool. And I don't know. So I don't think that takes away from the newer generation, but I do encourage people where I'm like, go in knowing nothing, let a movie just kind of take you away. Like,
it's good advice.
Watch something with an open mind. Like, don't watch trailers as much. Don't try and dig. And, now everything's so like, we have to know everything about it before we go in.
Right. Yeah. There's no mystery or sense of discovery now.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I kind of hate that. I think that there's certain directors that are getting more savvy about, like, Osgood Perkins is just a guy to me that when I see his trailers for a movie, it gives you enough of a morsel where you're like, I don't know what this is, but I want to see it. I mean, there's other films that are out there that are kind of starting to go back to that.
There are some great filmmakers out there who are doing some amazing work. But one of the things that I notice is that the problem with the technology that we have now is that films, they almost can't help but look a little too good. And we're never going to get that DIY feel that we used to have that will produce something like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
A lot of that is because everything's shot on digital, so it's just made to look so
slick,
clean and crisp. And I don't really care how many filters you put on digital; it's still obviously digital.
True.
We had like Super 16. It's gritty and grimy, and it. I mean, when I think of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you know what it looks like? It looks like footage from Vietnam, but in a small
yes.
That's what it looks like. I mean, it looks like, like combat, rough, raw photography. Like, that's what it looks like. There's nothing pretty about it. but that's what puts you in that moment where it's like you swear you can smell the fumes of the chainsaw. Like it just,
yeah.
I can feel the humidity watching it.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. I could smell
wanna
the
take a
barbecue.
shower. When you're done watching that movie, you're like, oh, I need to bathe. You know?
Yeah. I want to hang with these people.
No. That's how I feel. I need to shower after that film.
Yeah.
That's a sign of a good cult movie. You got to shower afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I completely agree. We had a guy that was doing QC for us on a disc, and he was talking about having to take his shirt off at one point watching one of the movies because he's like, we're like, why did you take your shirt off? He's like, I don't know. I just felt hot and like bothered, and I had to take my shirt off.
Wow. It's just like there's also just like this spirit of independence in these, especially. I mean, the 70s. I've said this many times in the podcast. The 70s is maybe my favorite decade when it comes to horror exploitation drive-in films, and it is interesting how different the aesthetics are, and how you can be immersed in something without a lot of flashy effects. Sometimes it's just good acting and good story and the tone and mood. Like, for instance, just sit somebody down who's never seen The Baby and have them watch that. Like, talk about incredibly well acted, twisted, perverse, but great concept, weird concept, disturbing and icky, and it's great.
And if you want to start a family after watching that, then I don't know what's wrong with you.
The Baby's a great one too for people that are like, I've seen it all, or like the gore stuff is really like whatever, and then you're like, okay, watch The Baby, and if this doesn't make you feel all kinds of ick in the first 5 minutes, The Baby gets right into it.
I know.
Like, oh God, like this is what it's gonna be.
Right. For weeks and weeks, filmmakers and the actors got together and made that movie and promoted it and released it.
They wanted to make that movie.
It's like, I mean, it's just
God bless them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just amazing. So I mean, you're on the same wavelength with us as far as just that aesthetic. But I have a question though, as far as like, there are companies like Severin and Kino and Arrow Films and Vinegar Syndrome. Like for Severin, how do you guys decide which movies to pursue for Blu-ray releases, and how do you go about tracking down the prints for these things?
So really the process is handled by one of our owners, David Gregory, who he's been in the industry for a very long time. Him and his best friend, Carl, started Severin after they had a video business in the UK. So they started Severin. David moved here to the States and started Severin. And, it started very small. But David has become somebody in the industry that's just well-liked, well-known by many people. So David travels the world basically looking for film prints. And he has a network of people that he deals with, old distributors and stuff. But I can tell you, I mean, he still gets phone calls in LA. Hey, there's an estate sale by this old distributor. You guys may want to get over there. I saw film cans,
Wow.
And, so, I mean, there are certain films that we've, gotten that way. One would be Mummy and the Curse of the Jackals.
Oh my God, that thing is insane. That is a schlock treasure.
I'm not familiar with that one. What
happens? Is there a mummy and is there a jackal?
Well, no, it's like, look, come on, guys. I know my Universal monsters, and Hammer horror. This is something that, where did this come from?
Exactly, right.
Yeah, so, I mean, I can really tell you that the Mummy is a really shitty ramshackle mummy, but it's like great. It literally looks like something that your mom was like, you're like, I want to be a mummy, and she's like, have that costume, and then runs you down to Woolworths, and $5 later, you've got a little gauze around you and a little blue makeup on your face. All right, you're a mummy, go trick or treat. And the Jackal Man actually appears in this film and one other film, which is Dracula the Dirty Old Man.
Yes. Yes.
Jackal Man has technically 2 films which he appears in. Which
amazing.
Is amazing.
It's a good run.
Right. That there's 2 films with the Jackal Man.
You can have a Jackal Man marathon.
It's a shared universe.
Totally could. Yes.
And then the Jackal Man had to go and fuck it all up. Being a diva.
But it's a great movie in the sense that it's filmed in Vegas in the early 60s. It was clearly shot without permits because there's great scenes where they're like, the Jackal Man and the Mummy are in downtown Vegas. Walking around, and there's just, Vegas people bumping around going, what the fuck?
They're like smiling and laughing at it. Yeah.
It's the horror, fear, and loathing.
In the 60s?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Actually, Ethan, a good friend of ours and a guy who's been on our podcast many times, C. Courtney Joyner, I know does the extras. He's, I think, the commentary for that, right? Or extra featurette for that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He's the greatest.
No,
he really is. And my God, the knowledge on that man is
unbelievable.
It's insane. It's
off the top of his head.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that, like, whenever we have a featurette with him, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to watch this. Because it's going to be like a dissertation on something that I want to know about.
Yes.
Right. No, that's a good one. Yeah. So it's kind of like this guy then is kind of like the Indiana Jones of cult films.
Yeah,
like finding these.
David is really great at discovering things and basically knowing how to work the network of people that he has. And I will say, like, Joe Rubin, who's part of Vinegar Syndrome, David and Joe Rubin have a restoration facility in Los Angeles where Vinegar Syndrome does some of their stuff and we do some of our stuff.
Oh, wow,
so,
nice.
Joe oversees that process. He's really the expert in the restoration. But having that facility in Los Angeles enables us to quality control, most of our own work.
Right.
Nice.
Okay.
There are instances, of course, where you have prints such as, some of the Italian films that we've done and stuff where those prints have to remain in Italy. So we have a network of people that we do work with in Italy, in the facilities there.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's really been a business that's just grown exponentially over the years, luckily. And I know that there's been many, projects that I've been personally blown away by that, I can't believe we're putting out like a Peter Greenaway movie, things like that are like just amazing to me that it's come as far as it has. And I'm just happy to be a part of it. I know when I got asked to be a part of the team, it was kind of one of those things that was like, well, what do you want to do? And I jokingly said, I'll take out the trash every week. I don't give a shit. I just want to be involved however I can. So,
But Ethan, I want to be clear, though, the company, because I've heard of, we got this print from some guy who had a print in his garage in Kansas. Hey, we'll just put it right on the DVD or the Blu-ray. But you guys, you clean it, you make it as nice as possible. That's the thing that makes it this different. And some of these films, they were trash. Maybe not a lot of prints made. Maybe they made their way through drive-ins and something. But you guys do take care in trying to make the best quality print on a Blu-ray possible.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's the one thing that we talk about a lot as well, is that in the process of doing this, not only are you putting out these great Blu-rays and everything, but you're literally saving film, because film is a finite material. It will all go away, will all rot. There's no stopping that process.
No.
Right.
So it will go away. So when you're doing a 2K or a 4K scan of a film, you are literally preserving that film print and making it the best that you possibly can. However, those elements are sort of dictates now what sort of scan you're going to do on the film. I know 4K is the big one you hear about all the time now. But typically, if you have like a 16 mil film and you scan it in 4K, you are going to see tons and tons and tons of grain.
Right.
It does depend, though. You have certain films that were, shot in 16, blown up to 35. That's not always the case. Every film is a case-by-case basis.
Right.
But, I mean, I have literally seen video of David going to like barns in England and pulling, film canisters that are stacked nearly to the roof in this barn, pulling film canisters of like amazing films.
Crazy.
So you see this stuff a lot, I still have friends that'll send me pictures of storage sheds in LA that are getting cleaned out, stuff thrown in dumpsters, and it's film cans. Who knows what's being thrown away?
God, but especially like today, like, I mean, in this world of digital entertainment and streaming, not just preserving, the big studio films and with all the big stars, but to be preserving and restoring this kind of stuff, the little nooks and crannies of pop culture. Like, of course, a Brad Pitt movie is going to be given all the money to keep it going forever. But the Mummy and the Curse of the Jackals is going to need some help, you know?
But Ethan, what do you say to someone who goes, well, look, I understand trying to preserve, Poltergeist. Okay, that's kind of a bigger Hollywood film, but something from Al Adamson, why would you want to save that stuff? Do you get
because
that?
I think, those films have a story to tell, and I think they're of a place and of a time. And I think that all cult and exploitation cinema is really a reflection in the time in which it was made. And it does have something to say. And Al Adamson, or, another great one to bring up is like Andy Milligan, who was like,
absolutely. You guys put out the definitive
period
set.
films with like, $5 in a, and like, no fucking money, no anything really, no resources.
I know.
And people are like, oh my God, another Milligan thing, and it's like, it's insane. It's awesome. Like, you're literally entering somebody's world that's almost unfiltered by outside influence. And I think that that's really what is such a fascinating thing about like cult and exploitation cinema, is that oftentimes you don't have that studio interference or people that are meddling in a movie so much, like you hear about, with some of these bigger movies where the studio has, ordered reshoots for this or that. And, exploitation movies, a lot of times it's like, here's this little bit of money, go away and make your thing and come back. And, so what they turn in is oftentimes a really cool, wild time.
Yeah. A pure artistic vision.
Yeah.
We did an episode a while back called That's Exploitation with David Dakota and David Duvall. And I'm one of those guys, I did not know about Andy Milligan, and they brought this up. Andy Milligan and these funky films. And look, for people out, who aren't in the Hollywood know, it takes a lot to put together any film, have it go from the beginning to the end and have a print made. There's a lot that goes into it. And yes, maybe it not be the greatest, but there's something special or unique about this guy's work, for example. Yeah. So you're saying it's worth preserving anyway, because it says something about the time.
Absolutely. I think it says something about the time. I think it says something about the person that made it. I mean, of course, as we know now, Andy Milligan was gay, and you watch his films and, he's an outlier gay man, and his movies are very informed by this like odd sense of that.
Yeah. And he had a troubled life too. And just,
he really did.
He really was kind of like this, just kind of haunted artist,
Yeah, absolutely. And so I think living in that universe, we put out a Ray Dennis Steckler box set, and that's another one that I did a lot of QC on that box set, and to start with the early Steckler films and then move into like the Steckler porn movies. Which, let's go on record and just say, like, we've put out probably the most unsexy porn films ever, being Steckler porn films and the Ed Wood porn films. Ed Wood made to finance his alcoholism.
The hardwood set. Yeah, I know.
What would Thanksgiving be without a day of...
But the Steckler porn films, I remember like working on those. I had never seen them. And like watching them, you're like, not only are you just completely unfazed by the people having sex, because you're just, I couldn't stop looking at the bottoms of their feet. I'm like, your fucking feet. You're
in a movie.
Yeah, you're in a, like, oh God, yeah. And I don't know. But anyway, to be in a universe like that, though, like to dig into a box set, because we've done a lot of box sets that,
oh my God, your box sets
filmmakers
are incredible, Ethan. I mean, just let me say, like, first of all, the Al Adamson set is called Al Adamson The Masterpiece Collection, which I love. The Andy Milligan one, the folk horror set, 2 volumes of that.
The folk horror stuff, my God.
All the Hauntsby R's compendium of folk horror, the documentary, Woodlands Dark and Days Bewitched. Brilliant. Incredible. I mean, films that even I, like, lots of films. That documentary may have been the most where I've been watching, like, wait a minute, what is that movie? I haven't heard of that.
Yeah.
I haven't, because
I looked up everything.
Yeah. I mean, yes, there's like Psychomania in there, which we loved. It's like one of the greatest movies.
The Wicker Man and those.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, right. The obvious.
There's so many. Yeah.
And again, this is a hats off to David, the owner, and Carl, But to hire somebody like Kayla as a curator, and now Kayla's moving into directing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, anything that we're doing that Kayla's involved in, I am always like frothing at the mouth. Oh my God, what is it? I'm so excited because she is such a unique talent. And she has such a very specific thing that she does where she'll get into one thing in cinema, but go down a wormhole to the extent of like a madman, basically, and it just mines it until you just like there's more folk horror stuff on the way. None of which I've heard of. Yeah. I mean, it's a really, really cool thing to just watch somebody like her work and get involved in projects because it's just incredible what she has brought to the table and her creativity and passion for film and writing and everything. It's truly incredible. The folk horror stuff, I think, has just been a revolution for us.
Yes. That documentary, but you guys go the extra mile because not only are you hitting all the films, like there's these interstitials of like folk poetry narrated by Linda Hayden and Ian Ogilvy. I mean, it's great. It's fantastic. You got them.
I watch it again and again and again.
Yeah, it's just it's beautiful. And some of the like Robin Redbreast and the White Reindeer V. The Russian was amazing. Yeah, again, just showing people that my God, there's so much more out there.
Eyes of Fire was a big favorite of mine.
Eyes of Fire is great.
That's an incredible movie. A movie that I think somebody like, when we're talking about newer directors like Robert Eggers, like, the Eyes of Fire is very much a precursor to a film like The Witch or something like that.
Yeah.
It's incredible movie.
And all the British television stuff that you turned me onto with that documentary. I mean, I found, I think, pretty much everything. And that's another example of showing what you could do with such a minimal budget, but a lot of creativity and some really, really great acting. I'm telling you, that documentary just continues to give and give.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm definitely a huge fan of that stuff. And I'm always hungry for more folk horror. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Ethan, I'm curious, with this small handful of other distribution companies, when it comes to finding the product, is it more a case of coordination or competition? Because as time goes on, I mean, there seems to be an unending well of movies to discover, but you've also got to, you've got to deal with the discovery of them, finding the prints, licensing, and you've got these other companies who are doing the same thing. How does that work?
So I think really now we have a reputation in the industry, luckily as well. Like we're really good friends, as I said, with Vinegar Syndrome. So there's a lot of back and forth there, but I think there's still enough to go around. And I'm often asked what makes a Severin film a Severin film. And I think that that's the hardest thing to distill because as time goes on, it just continues to change. We oftentimes like to say we represent regional cinema from around the world, which I think is a great way to put it, because we have done a ton of Spanish stuff. We just had a Spanish box set come out, Exorcism, that has a ton of first time to Blu-ray titles that are first time they've ever been released in the States and in Spain, as I'm told, by Spanish people. So that's pretty amazing. We've done a ton of Australian stuff, a ton of Italian stuff. Obviously, a ton of American stuff, a ton of French stuff. I mean, it's all over the board now. So I think really is what boils down to a Severin film is really representing that regional sort of filmmaking that's specific to that region and that place and time. And it just kind of continues to go on. I am asked if we're worried about ever running out of movies, and I'll tell you no. Last year, I got a recap from David at the beginning of this year that said, okay, we released 121 movies last year. I need your top 5.
Oh
and
my
God. Holy shit, 121 movies.
Wow,
like,
that's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. Like, it even threw me because I try and watch everything.
Right.
I can tell you it's getting harder and harder to do that.
And you're still sane somehow.
Yeah. And I mean, I do really actively try and watch like a movie a day is about what I try and do that's realistic. And, some days, of course, that doesn't happen. But I keep my disc pretty close to where the player, so I can just throw this in.
Right.
I'm working my way through the Christopher Lee Part 3 box set right now.
Yes.
Absolutely loving that. I can tell you this is our 20th year in existence as Severin.
I didn't know 20 years. Wow.
Yeah. So we go back to the DVD era, baby.
Now, you were talking about, well, you mentioned what you think a Severin film is, and you were also saying that when you're at Monsterpalooza and these people come up and they don't know these films and you get them started and they keep coming back for more. Give me some titles that you would say, I'm the guy who's never seen any of this stuff, and give me some titles of what you would get me started with.
So, one of the titles, me and my table partner, Jaime, we each kind of have, he loves to sell people The Sinful Dwarf. I love to sell people Burial Ground.
I love Burial Ground.
Burial Ground is incredible.
Burial Ground is a movie too that I think, like, if you would all like horror and you like it's sleazy, cheap, and fast, like,
wow,
Burial Ground is going to deliver like the goods.
Oh, hell yeah!
It's a zombie movie that within 5 minutes you've got zombies fucking everybody's weekend up, and they're like, and you've got of course Peter Bark, who looks like a shrunken Dario Argento, and he's
creepy and weird.
Who's the 40-year-old kid?
Yeah, exactly. So it is. I mean, it is such a delight. And I will sell people Burial Ground, and I kid you not, whenever the next convention that they're at, they'll come to the Severin table and say, "You sold me this movie last time, and it was amazing. What else should I buy?" And then once they do that, it's like, "Oh, I got you,"
Yeah.
Then it's Rat's Night of Terror. Would be
Rat's Night of Terror is great.
Wait, Rats. See, I'm writing these down. Rat's Night of Terror.
Yes.
See,
that's a strange one.
Also, do you want to hear like a great little piece of information that I found out recently about Rat's Night of Terror that I just love sharing with everybody? So, Rat's Night of Terror, the sets, it's the same sets that they used for Once Upon a Time in America.
Oh,
Yeah, the bar from Once Upon a Time in America is the set in Rats.
How did they swing that?
Incredible.
Well, the Italians, that's how they swung it.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Nobody's using this. Come on, let's do it.
Well, I mean, the Italians were so great. And that's also, like, I talk to people about this a lot, in that, when everybody's like, "Oh, the Italians, they have this like weird thing with their movies." And I'm like, yeah, you want to know why? Because they weren't like setting out to make a crazy fucking movie. They really genuinely were going to make the best movie they could.
Right.
The results, of course, varied, but I mean, Troll 2 is a great example, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like one of those movies that he did not set out to make a weird movie.
Yeah, like wink, wink, look how wacky this is.
Right.
And I think
it wouldn't work if it was that.
Because he was making the best version of Troll 2 that he could. It ended up being this just wildly entertaining thing, because whenever people go, "I'm going to make a bad movie," you know what? It fucking sucks.
Yeah, pretty much. You're right.
Well, right. Yeah. And anybody tries to make a cult film, it's always a disaster.
Yeah.
And you know what I'd like to think? I would like to think that while Sergio Leone was making Once Upon a Time in America, that he would wrap for the day, and then at night the Rats people would come in and then just work till morning, and then they just go back and forth. Share breakfast.
Right.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Also, speaking of Italian, you guys have amazing giallo collections too. But some of the more obscure giallos, but also for anybody who's maybe wants to be introduced to that genre, is not as familiar with it, your documentary, All the Colors of Giallo, is a great way to introduce yourself to that genre. Of course, with Argento's Bird with the Crystal Plumage, kind of almost started that whole genre, even though there were earlier versions of the giallo, but that's what really started that genre going. And there's some weird, bizarre, violent, strange giallo films out there, and they too have their own vibe and their own world.
Ethan, give us one.
Okay, a Severin giallo film?
Yes.
Sure.
Not Argento.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then I'm going to go with The Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward.
Yeah, is that
I don't know that
speak
one.
French in that one? Who's
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
that's a good one.
Yeah. Great film.
What's that about?
It's about a woman who's having an affair, and there's all of a sudden people start getting murdered and she's being blackmailed. It's kind of the classic, thing. She's in this web of mystery. Is it her husband? Is it somebody else that knows and's trying to blackmail her? Like it's fantastic.
Sounds great.
What else do we have that's a giallo film? Gosh, let's see. All the Colors of the Dark, of course, which you mentioned, the doc that's with that Blu-ray.
Right.
One of my favorite things that's on that Blu-ray too is we have a giallo trailer reel that I think.
Oh, yes.
I think it's like
That's
3
great.
hours almost.
Yeah, it's insane. Just put that
giallo.
on as a
3
loop.
hours?
Yeah.
Show that
Which
at
is-
your kid's
I
birthday
can't
party.
even-
Just
I
run
put
that.
it on at parties in the background before, and people are just like, "Oh my god, what is this?"
Right.
Some of those trailers. Like, have you ever seen the trailer to Torso?
No.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my god,
no.
it's
James?
such an amazing trailer where you just be like, I want to watch Torso. It's great. It's like seeing the Star Crash trailer for the first time, where you're just like, okay,
right.
I'm watching it.
I'm in.
That's-
I'm in.
Yeah,
we're big Star Crash fans.
man.
Yeah, we
Oh,
all
me
love that
too.
one.
But I'm not familiar with Torso.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Do
It's
yourself-
the sequel to Midriff.
Also, I think one of your latest box sets is Susanna, Empress of Darkness,
Yes.
which is all about this Indonesian film star scream queen, Susanna, who had this incredible life on and off the screen. And I've seen the documentary on her, and
Yes.
you've compiled in this box set many of her most famous movies, and the Indonesian horror films are, talk about insane.
Yeah, I think again this kind of bleeds into folk horror a bit, where in Indonesian horror we see oftentimes those folk horror elements. Oftentimes it's a woman who dies in childbirth or something like that. Back at the ghost. Really, really fascinating stuff. I think that's one of my favorite things about folk horror specifically is the fact that you get to have this like great world lesson that is so different than, your own moral system or culture of how you were raised.
Right.
And you kind of get to learn about these other cultures through a lot of these films and sort of their societal fears, what scares them.
Right.
A lot of times, like with the Indonesian stuff, they're pretty scary, man. Like a lot of those films, I think, have this kind of like weird production value. A lot of like snakes, which to me, I don't know why. You give me a bunch of snakes in a scene and I'm like, ugh, I don't like that.
Why did it have to be snakes?
Right, exactly. Yeah. But David Gregory directed the Susanna documentary. He's, our owner.
Really good.
I, of course, knew nothing about this. It's so funny because when I started working for the company, he's like, oh, you've seen, all these movies. It'll be like, easy for you. And as time's gone on, I'm like, I don't know any of this stuff. Hardly. I mean, we put out some stuff I know, but the majority of it, I'm like, I'm an eager fan just like everybody else. So I'm super excited to explore stuff that I don't know as well. And that's another thing that I am constantly telling people at conventions, like, take a chance on something you don't know. Like, kind of relating to what we talked about earlier, let a movie blow your mind. Like, just let something you don't know what it is. Let it go in fresh, know nothing. Like, let it do its thing to you.
Yeah, instead of watching another sequel of something or a reboot of something, just watch something completely new.
I'll tell you, Ethan, it's interesting what you're saying. When you mentioned a bunch of the other countries, you forget, as like a regular Joe American moviegoer, that there are horror films from other parts of the world.
Yeah.
And there's other things out there that is very unique. And you mentioned that the cultures in some of these places, it's different from United States. So some of the horror stories that they tell are very unique and very different. Yeah, maybe kind of schlocky or low budget, but still unique and something that could blow you away. Is that the case?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think so. And I think getting out of your comfort zone of, sort of being chased by a killer with a knife or a chainsaw or whatever it is.
Yeah.
When you go to a place like Indonesia and it's, a woman who's died in childbirth and then her ghost is coming back and is haunting you in the trees everywhere you walk. There's something about that. Like, there's a very primal fear. Like, this thing is in the darkness that's watching me, and I know it's there, but everybody thinks I'm crazy, but I know it's there. I think, you see that in the Indonesian films, and that's relatable even to us as Americans, because again, maybe it's that Lovecraftian idea. It's, something that's just out of reach, but we know it's there, right? Like, it's coming. It's like that, doom is just an arm's reach away. You can't see it, but it is there.
Yeah. Also, something that I think Matt talks about a lot is, especially in Japanese cinema, how special effects in other countries, Japanese, especially like the yokai films, those monsters and those creatures and the effects aren't always necessarily supposed to be realistic. They're not supposed to look like real life. They're supposed to be for what the story and atmosphere of that story is. And some people have issues with it. They can't deal with that because today, like you said, you can make the most perfect looking CGI creature or whatever, but it's not the same.
If you're thinking about what a yokai looks like, if you're going to sit there and tell me that the yokai monsters look stupid, you've completely missed the point.
Exactly. Thank you.
You've completely missed how cool and how special it is that you get to watch the yokai monsters. Like,
the fact that you aren't able to step into this world instead of pushing it away shows that there's something, I think, inside you that has died.
Yeah, I would wholly agree with that.
They represent something that's older. It's like it's cultural and it goes way back hundreds of years, as do kaiju in their own way.
Yes,
ancient dragons of the Orient. Or
I think that's what's like so cool about Japan specifically too. And in a lot of the cinema, is what you see is that kind of contrast of a very, modern society, but with this sort of looming ancient ideas that are still omnipresent in this modern society, right?
Yeah.
Japan doesn't fully want to get rid of some of their, ancient identities and that part of their culture, because it's a part of what defines their culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that goes back to folk horror too. A lot.
Folk horror. I was thinking the same thing.
There's something under the earth, something in the ground that's always there. It's like it's very primal.
I kind of think that's why folk horror has gotten so much more popular now too, is because we're in this age again where we're, the modernity of everything is getting so, it's moving so quickly now, right? But there's like this pull back to roots in a way, which I kind of think also ties into what we're talking about with physical media, where now you can watch anything on streaming, right? Or the idea. But it's also like this overload on your mind. Like, what am I going to watch? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I have way too many streaming services.
Sure, right.
So, if I sit down with my wife and we try and decide what to watch, it's fucking insane.
It can be a challenge. I know.
It's like a hostage negotiation.
I know.
So oftentimes for me, it's easier to just say, hey, here's this disc. I'm just going to put this in and we're just going to give ourselves to this movie for an hour and a half or 2 hours or whatever it is.
Sure.
And you just let that be the thing. And there's something cool to me too about that, because I notice I pay way more attention when I'm watching a disc versus like if I just throw something on streaming, it feels more disturbing.
Yeah, you're right.
It feels like an event.
Yes, exactly. And again, I feel like I'm actively participating, like I'm giving myself to this thing. Rather than this whatever streaming service or whatever.
It's sort of like, but streaming always feels like I'm late to someone else's party.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah. I think too, it goes back. I do think sometimes there are two kinds of people too, as far as cinema goes. And like growing up, all of us guys here, we're in our 60s. So we grew up watching late night TV horror hosts, in the 70s, and that staying up, struggling to stay awake to see a horror film that I never heard of. But you commit to it and you're willing to give yourself into that world, and you accept that. You just you're willing to immerse yourself. Yeah. And that's how you can appreciate everything that's in that happening in that piece of art,
Yeah, it's like despite the film, you're just happy to be there.
Yeah,
exactly. I think that more people need to sort of have that experience now. I see, like, I don't know, I see a lot of people now that are so quick to put things down or disassociate themselves from things, or like a trailer gets released and this is gonna fucking suck, or
yeah.
Blueface is a death movie, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Like,
I've heard
I'm
that.
also one of those people, like, I've had to have this conversation with myself internally a lot too, where, don't become the old curmudgeon guy that is dismissive of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
I wonder who that could apply to.
It's easy to be that person though, right? Where you go,
Sure.
Yeah.
they're remaking Texas Chainsaw again. Like, this is going to be fucking stupid. And here's the deal. Like, we know you're never going to get that same thing that happened in 1974. It's never going to happen again.
No.
So have that conversation with yourself. It's never going to be that. But let it be whatever it is, good, bad, ugly, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, but just let it be its thing,
If you decide you're going to go to a movie where there's blue people that look like animals, just go live in that
all right.
Okay.
Well,
no,
we're done.
This has been great having you on the show.
Live in that
thanks.
world. You see, no.
Is that a cease and desist from James Cameron's lawyers?
I understand what you're saying. Sometimes we can become jaded, and that old curmudgeon.
And sometimes the jaded curmudgeon is right, though. Let's not.
It's called healthy cynicism. Healthy cynicism.
No. Look, Ethan is bringing up some classic, schlocky films in a way that, look, they may not be, Lawrence of Arabia, but he's saying there's something special and unique that you can find in these little gems.
Yes, like, you are never going to see, to me, like, when you watch like a Jess Franco movie, and it's a very particular type of tea, I will say, like, where I get told a lot at conventions, I hate Jess Franco, I don't want any of his movies, and I'm always like, cool, no problem.
I'm kind of in that camp to a point. Like, I do admire some of his film, a handful of his films, but I can't get behind.
A little goes a long way.
I'm just not like the huge bandwagon. Just Franco's a genius.
Yeah.
I can't. I can watch a lot, and I can accept.
And Sean can watch a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, that is true.
But just Franco, a few, but I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's a very particular thing, and I happen to be one of the people that just find it entrancing because so it's hypnotic almost, because it's
I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
And you're never going to see another person that uses the zoom on a woman's bush the way that Jess Franco does.
Well, you got to give him that.
Sure.
There should be an award. I'm just saying.
I mean, you got Russ Meyer that's, can do
Russ
zoom
Meyer,
shots like nobody else, but Jess Franco and the zoom shot on the bush. Oh, magnificent.
That should be your next documentary. Zoom shot on the bush.
A compendium.
The films of Jess Franco.
Yes, exactly.
Ethan, I wanted to ask you that too. Like, out of all these films over the years that Severin has been acquiring and releasing, have there been some that have been like really challenging to acquire and to restore, or some that didn't work out, or you're still working on?
Yeah, I mean, yes, there definitely has been. Like, we bringing up one thing. I have to be careful here about what I can talk about.
Don't
talk about. But I mean, of course, every film has its own challenges, and sometimes that's finding great elements. Sometimes it's finding. I know. Speaking of Jess Franco, I was asking because there's certain Jess Franco movies we just did in 4K, like we did She Killed in Ecstasy and Vampiros Lesbos in 4K. So I naturally was like, are we going to do like Bloody Moon in 4K? And, was told that there are no film elements that contain the German scenes, because in Germany, when the film was released, it had specific gore scenes in that cut. And apparently the surviving elements for that are only taken from tape, like a videotape.
Oh,
so not able to do that in 4K, and because there's not intact elements, we won't do it in 4K.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
another thing too. We're very much a company that honors our customers, our fan base, by not just upgrading things to 4K without doing it the proper way. And this is something I tell people a lot too. If you're buying films from companies that aren't talking about the restorations and how they do those processes or what those elements are that they took the restoration from, I would be cautious in what you buy. I'll say that because there are a lot of companies that will take a 2K scan and just convert it to 4K and release it on disc.
Right. I learned the lesson from digitally remastered.
Yeah.
No, you're right. No, you guys don't just go through the motions. You're always like you put a lot of care into your releases.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it shows quite a bit too, because I'll watch a lot of things, and the films that I am very familiar with that I watch, oftentimes I'm completely blown away by how they look.
I just got one of your recent releases, the Barbara Steele film, The Ghost.
Oh my God,
that thing looks so incredible.
It's insane.
Beautiful gothic ghost story film. I mean, it's like watching a different film. I mean, it was really crappy public domain, versions of that forever. And this is like it's incredible. It's a revelation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a fantastic film.
Another thing you guys put out are martial arts films. And I've been a giant kung fu fan since I was a lad, and giant Bruce Lee worshiper. And one film that you put out that I was so happy to see is getting, the 4K treatment is The Crippled Masters.
Yes.
The Crippled Masters.
The Crippled Masters, which has been described as the freaks of martial arts cinema.
No way.
And so it's a martial arts movie that features two actual handicapped people who one is missing arms, the other person is missing legs, and they really are. And they learn martial arts, and they come together to almost form like one person who kicks the ass of all the people who visited all these troubles on them. And that thing has to be seen to be believed. It is incredible.
It's also a true hallmark to exploitation filmmaking when we're discussing like movies, I think, that could not be made in today's society.
Oh God, no.
Absolutely.
Which is, again, I think, to me,
terrible.
An appeal about exploitation cinema, especially from that period, is that you could see movies like that are people that have obvious, impairments. They were born that way.
Yeah.
And yet they're overcoming it. And it's a story of triumph on their part. Yeah, I mean, it's an ultimate revenge on their part.
And they're incredible martial artists too.
Oh, they're
doing the real deal here.
No, it's a movie too that you see. I mean, there's a lot of the kung fu movies. It's amazing that many of these movies were made in like 9 days, 8 days.
I know, right? Yeah.
Just down and dirty, like 20-hour shooting schedules. Just hurry up and get it in. And we need the film market, in 3 weeks.
Oh man.
Like
the people who had to endure Shaw Brothers and that kind of schedule. My God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really crazy. But yeah, the martial arts film, admittedly, that was a huge blind spot for me, the martial arts films. So when we were doing the Bruceploitation box set,
yes,
I was super, that was like a new world to me. And I think because I grew up mainly in the 80s, the Bruce fever had passed by the 80s.
Right.
And it was mostly, then you were into like Chuck Norris and the Cannon.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Ninjas were really big. Like that was like, like the ninja films were kind of, I think, more in my wheelhouse. So the 70s kung fu films, that was like a whole new learning thing for me, and getting to see those for the first time though, like I was completely blown away. And then of course the documentary on all the clones of Bruce and everything, like just such an amazing story. And again, talk about a moment in time and a moment in the culture where people went, Bruce Lee's dead. we need more movies like this, and we need more of this guy. And everybody's going, huh? Like, how are we going to do? Oh, yeah, don't worry. We'll have another like type of Bruce Lee movie.
Yeah, you
Bruce
are now
Lee.
Bruce. You are Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee. What wasn't even Jackie Chan Bruce for a minute or two or something like that?
Yeah, I think there were a couple of Jackie Chan ones. Yeah, where he was very much like a Bruce Lee type of character. So
It's crazy.
Incredible films, though. I mean, really, really incredible films. And you get to see in some of those films like Young Bolo Yang and like,
right.
Those movies, they're just incredible movies. Really, really cool. That's been a fun discovery for me is, learning about those and getting to see those for the first time.
Ethan, two-part question. As a soundtrack collector, who are your favorite composers, apart from Morricone, who I'm assuming is in there? And also, has Severin done a lot of isolated score releases?
So I'll answer the last part first. We release soundtracks with our Blu-rays and 4Ks whenever we can because music is a huge part of films, as you guys all know. And our owners are big music fans as well. So we like to include soundtracks whenever we can. So we've done tons of soundtracks with our releases. We've done like a cassette tape for the Bruce set that came in like a bundle. We did a 7-inch for an Al Adams, the Al Adams collection. And
Nice.
then we've done, and then several CDs that would come in Blu-ray packages whenever we can. Some of my favorite composers, Morricone, you mentioned, of course, is up there. Like I absolutely love Morricone. I have, good Lord, who knows how many records. I have a whole cube of records that's nothing but Morricone records. I even own a Morricone acetate that is for Lizard in a Woman's Skin, and it actually has cues that are not on the soundtrack, which was really
Wow.
The Fulci film, yeah.
So yes, that is probably one of my prized possessions.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
What is an acetate for the people?
So an
who do not
acetate
know?
is basically it's like a record, but it's created differently. And as what it is it's a reference copy for a producer, an artist, or somebody that would, we recorded this and we need to listen to it today. So they would create acetates so that you could listen to sort of your work in progress.
All right.
So the acetate is, from the Lizard in a Woman's Skin sessions. And again, it has cues that are not on the actual soundtrack.
Wow.
So it's, that's definitely one of a kind. And it's got, I don't know who hand wrote on the labels for the acetate, but I love to think maybe it's maybe it's Bruno Nicolai. I don't know.
Wow.
Bruno Nicolai, of course, is a huge composer I'm a fan of. I love Piero Umiliani is another big one that has done many films, a lot of library music that's wonderful. Gosh, I mean, the list goes on. When I was growing up, Carpenter was like one of those that was huge, right?
Sure.
Right.
Still love that, our favorite curmudgeon now has a music career and he plays.
Yes, yeah. And those Lost Themes releases,
I
love those.
It gives me a lot of joy to see John Carpenter on stage doing his little old man dance, and it's just wonderful. It's great, and it's talk about a fucking amazing fourth quarter of his life.
I got to see one of his shows in Hollywood. It was like, I think it was on Halloween night. He was performed in Hollywood. I could see him doing all his themes live. It was great.
Me and my son, I took my son on November 1st. We went the day after Halloween.
Nice.
Saw that.
Nice.
And,
it was great. It's great.
Fantastic.
Just like seeing him live doing like the fog theme, it's like,
oh my God, I know. Yeah.
It's incredible.
So
wait a minute. You mentioned a son. Now you have a son. Is your son into this stuff? How old is your son?
So he's 9, and yes, he's very much into horror. Yeah,
nice.
He loves horror. He, of course, he doesn't watch everything I watch because that would be ridiculous.
Probably for the best.
Yes.
Yeah. Save the Jess Franco zooms for later on in life. Maybe.
Right. We'll ease him into that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Maybe Russ Meyer before Franco.
There you go.
Right.
You need to taste champagne before you have table wine out of a bag.
Right.
Ethan, I have to ask, first of all, every time I see you guys at Monsterpalooza year after year, it makes me really happy. We've talked about this before, how it seemed like people are not buying Blu-rays anymore, DVDs anymore. I mean, the big studios have said, "Oh, we're not going to do that anymore." But it seems like you guys continue. It's like you're growing. You said 120 films last year.
Yeah.
How do you feel that more people are getting back into getting physical media?
I do think that they are. I see a lot of younger people now that are coming to the table, which is
Nice.
fantastic. Like, I
Yeah.
love to see that. I think that is what I see happening is there's more people that are like starting to experience things on Shudder's, like a big one that I think has,
Right.
given a lot of people like, oh, I get to watch these Argento movies, or I get to watch a movie like Cemetery Man for the first time.
Yeah.
And then they come to us and they'll buy some of those discs because they want to own that movie because it's a special movie to them. Streaming, I think, also the one thing that's working in our favor with streaming, and we're not anti-streaming at all. And I mean, we do have our movies on Shudder, we have our movies on Tubi, we have some, on the services, so to speak. However, I think that the more that you have these different avenues of streaming, it's becoming this nightmare for people. And, because of licensing and the way that works is, one day this movie's here and then the next day it's just poof, it's gone. And
Right.
That's what I hate the most about streaming.
Yeah.
It's
And
like,
I mean, you're starting to see movies that are just disappearing out of thin air. Like they're nowhere to be found anymore. And I bring that I've sat on a few panels where we've talked about the importance of physical media. And this is one thing that I've brought up to people that's the most, I jokingly refer to it as the most basic bitch thing that you can talk about is how you cannot own the original Star Wars. You can't watch it on streaming anywhere. You can't see it unless you have the DVD.
Right.
And I mean, I like to also remind you, it's never been out on Blu-ray. It's only the DVD.
Yeah.
Only the
You're
DVD.
right. You're right. You're right.
Wait, how fucking crazy is that?
I know.
You're right.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
One of the most influential
Why
movies
don't
in
they
the
like
world.
money?
Yeah.
But and Disney, as far as I know, has no intention of putting it out. And as far as I also know, the last I heard, Disney has no intention of saving their film, like the original reels that they have.
Yeah.
They're not going to save it, and they're not going to digitize it in any modern way, like what we would do, take it, restore it in 4K. All they're doing is up-converting the versions of whatever they have.
So weird. It's just like, I mean,
Bizarre.
Well,
Yeah.
I have a theory about that.
Okay.
My theory is this. I was one of those kids who saw Star Wars when it came out for the first time in 1977, where it was a one-off. The title of the film was Star Wars. There was no episode 4, The New Hope.
Right.
It was just Star Wars.
Right.
And I believe that, as Lucas has gone through life, he goes, "Oh, this I'm embarrassed by that. I want people to see the digital Star Wars. That's what." When George dies, I think Disney's going to turn around and make that. They're going to make that Star Wars. Hey, remember when you saw it back in 77? Here it is. And it's going to sell like crazy. That's what I think is.
No, I hope.
Does he have to die though? I mean, like, I'm just.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not.
you know what? No,
I'm
It's in the
serious.
contract.
You know what sucks though? What sucks is he's probably right. Like, he's probably right, because I also was talking to somebody about, everybody's like, where is Dawn of the Dead? Why isn't there like a US proper 4K version of Dawn of the Dead? And I mean, the answer is because Richard Rubinstein wants way too much money, which a company could never make that money back on home video release.
Yeah, right.
And it's literally, and I told somebody this, I said, it's going to take Richard Rubinstein dying and then his family going, okay, we'll do business.
Yes.
They're probably right about Star Wars, and they should release it as the Lucas Turning in His Grave box set.
I love it.
With the holiday special.
Yes. Yeah.
Think of that. I love it. I love it.
And the porn version.
That's cruel, James. That is really cruel.
Star Wars.
Star Wars, yes. Classic.
No, it's that little Falana scene, the excise moments from that, where Itchy's watching the fantasy thing, and it's
I mean, look, for listeners who are too young to know this, when the holiday special came out, it was only shown once.
That's right,
only once.
And it is fucking weird. Like,
of course, yes, legendary,
very
weird,
much so.
Yeah.
I mean, because when it opens with like the Wookiee family and they're speaking Wookiee and it goes
for 10 minutes
and on and on and on. There's no subtitles. And you're just like, is this really happening?
Right? Yeah. Did I go deaf?
Yeah.
No. But Ethan, the funny thing is, you are absolutely right. When I watched it, first of all, we had a problem with our television set, and the TV blew up.
It turned out to be the show.
No, halfway into it. But it's like you were so desperate as a kid to see anything.
Of course,
Star Wars. Even though I didn't know what the Wookiees were saying, I had to watch it. I thought it was a technical glitch that they forgot to put in the subtitles. That's what I thought. Or maybe,
I can see that.
In my part of the country, they forgot to put up the subtitles. I'm sure somewhere, but that's what I thought. It was crazy.
Well, but the and then the fact that it's shot on video, is also strange because you go from this gigantic, big budget space opera, and then you go to something that looks a lot more like Doctor Who.
And B. Arthur is your bartender.
And B. Arthur is it right, and all the kids love Art Carney. Come on,
Oh, there's so many choices that were made in that, and they were all wrong.
But
that's why it's amazing.
For listeners, I don't think Lucas was involved in this. And
no, he just said, "Go make it."
He said it was his goal to destroy every copy of that. And the funny thing was, back when it came out, this is like 78, 79 or so. And when it came out, you didn't have the VHS. They didn't make VHSs of it, because Lucas hated it so much. Right. So to find anything of this was like, oh my gosh. And it's not great. It's schlock. It's ridiculous.
But you have to own it. I mean, you have to.
Of course.
You have to own it.
It's Plan 9 awful.
Yes. Yeah. It is just, it's an incredible thing. And I'm happy to say my DVD copy has the commercials in between too.
Oh, nice.
All that and much more better, because you need that 78 like 7-Up commercial,
Right. Well, what's great now is that at Disneyland, they're releasing merchandise based on the holiday special.
That's true.
Yeah. My friend Ken Daly gave me a plushie of Chewbacca in his, what is it called? Planet Day or what?
Life Day.
Life Day.
There's a Life Day figure now too.
There's a Life Day figure.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's an ornament of Chewbacca and Han Solo. It says Life Day on it. Yeah. I mean,
did we ever think that was going to happen?
But that's because it's because what's his face? Mandalorian. It was mentioned in Mandalorian. A character mentions Life Day, so it became officially canon after that.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's why. So now, but you're right. Probably after Lucas dies, somebody will release that on Blu-ray.
4K.
Yeah.
Yes, but James, if there's ever a way to make him really spin in his grave, it's to put that in the box set.
That's true. That's true. Now, do you think 4K also is another thing that's bringing people back to physical media?
I don't necessarily think that it's that, because I will say most people don't seem that savvy about like, oh, it's 4K or Blu-ray.
Okay.
There's a handful of people that do genuinely care about, but I'll say like, I do travel outside of the LA area to do shows. Like when I'm in Seattle or when I'm in Texas or Colorado, I don't really have a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm not going to buy this because it's on Blu-ray and I just want a 4K of it. I don't.
Okay, that's great.
We are still one of the companies though that's putting out 4K and a Blu-ray if you buy the 4K,
which is great.
That is
awesome because I love to loan my movies to people. Like I have a close network of friends that I'll loan movies to.
Yeah.
And the companies that now are just putting out like, oh, it's just the 4K. I'm like, God damn it. Like, really?
Right. Yeah.
$45 fucking dollars. You can throw the Blu-ray in there.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Ethan, are you keeping a list about who you loan out movies movies too, because
Yeah, that's
Matt,
Check
you're
it
right.
twice.
You're right.
I've
Yes, true.
returned the movies that I borrowed from.
No,
you,
you're
just to
great.
let
You're
you
great.
know.
That's
No,
true.
you're
Yeah, but
always
I'm
return
paranoid
stuff.
about that
I'm
kind of
I'm
thing.
Yeah,
just
I
Yeah,
am
teasing,
too,
you
but
know.
I it's only a select group of
No,
people.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
very,
You gotta,
very,
yeah, you gotta be
very
careful.
small. You know, it's not just like
give me back my Devil's Rain DVD now.
Well, have you ever had this thing too? This has just recently happened to me, but I opened up, that Blade Runner suitcase set that has all the stuff in it, but it also has all the different cuts of Blade Runner.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I've had that forever, and I just recently opened it up and I looked inside and the Blu-rays are gone. And I have no idea where they went. And it's one of those things like, of course I had to ask.
I get that call.
But that would have been great if he had it, but he didn't. So I still have no idea where it went. And that's what I'm always afraid of. I'm going to lose track and then it's gone.
Man, that's a
I put tracking devices on everybody that
your Spidey sensor.
Yeah. John's just got air tags in every one of his movies.
Yes.
This little blow dart.
Ethan, there's something that you mentioned that I really liked, and it says something to me. Some of these filmmakers who have made these films in the past, they may not be the greatest film, but it says something about that individual in it, and it takes a lot to put that film together. Monster Party, we've been fortunate to do commentaries on several films, but we did a commentary on this one film that we had to do research on called Right Hand of the Devil that I didn't know much about. But it was like, oh my gosh, this is really amazing because it's this one guy who, as he was a hairdresser and he saved this money to make this film, and he hired some really talented people to make this low budget film. And
the cinematography is insanely beautiful.
Yeah, it's like 60s LA. It looks pretty amazing. Yeah.
Aram Catcher is a funky guy, and he when he made the film, he thought it was going to explode. He thought it was going to make his career. Well, it went to a few places, and he was upset. He didn't feel that he was getting the respect that he deserved. So he decided to take the prints that were made, and he decided to destroy them.
Yeah.
He hacked them up with the knife. He was so angry.
Yeah.
But what he didn't realize was a couple of the prints were still out there. Right. Some may have even shown on television. And when he found out that there was a print out there, he flipped out. But the funny thing about this film, when you watch it, it's really neat, for this low budget film. And this guy was such an unusual character. I'm glad that at least a couple prints survived. So film masters could actually treat it and give it out to the public.
Yeah, Film Masters is a company we've done several commentaries for, actually. Yeah,
but it's like cool. Some of these people who have made these films, they're very unique. They have amazing stories about how they went about their career or making the films that are.
Well, there are also scenes in that film that were shot at Dean Martin's nightclub. And just in
historical.
in terms of having an archive where there's probably not a lot on film from that location.
No.
So there's that to be said for these, very low budget independent films too.
Yeah.
And then also, speaking of audio commentary, you guys do a lot of audio commentary for all your films. And that must be a task in and of itself, trying to get these people and find the people who want to talk, or I'm sure there's situations too where you guys have to do quite a bit of cajoling to get these guys to come on board. Is that true?
I mean, luckily now we typically have a pretty large network of people that we work with on commentaries, depending upon, of course, what the film is and everything. But I would say, I've seen that commentaries now, we're getting sometimes 2-3 commentaries on a film.
Oh, wow.
That's nice. Yeah.
So, which is really cool. Again, it's the conundrum. I love commentaries, but it's just the time thing. I have to really be
Oh yeah.
Right.
If you're giving me 3 commentaries on a film,
right.
I hope I get to
it. Well, look, and I understand. You say to yourself, okay, we're gonna send out this film. We're doing this film called Torso. How many people are gonna be buying that? How many? And think about as a producer, you have to think about, okay, what it's going to cost to save this to get it out to the public, but how many are you going to sell? So, I mean, I get that. You don't want to put like, well, we're going to put 10 commentaries on this.
Right.
But sometimes those extras are what is, I would guess, is a selling point too for a film that maybe has been previously released. And now
absolutely.
you get,
you guys, speaking about the movie you were just speaking about, we just put out a film called Student Confidential, which is probably one of the strangest Troma titles that was in the Troma catalog.
And that's saying a lot.
It is. Yes. It totally is, but it's a film that it's not a horror film at all. It's really not even a genre film. I would almost label it as it's more like a high school drama, and it's a vanity project made by this one individual, and this individual was a musician that wanted to be a filmmaker, and he started to have this sort of. He had a very successful career in computers, and then all of a sudden decided that he was going to, what am I doing with my life? I wanted to make a film. So he made this film, Student Confidential. Troma picked it up, and it became, it sort of went away, basically, because it didn't have the reception that
right.
Right. Very misunderstood film. And I think Troma, the fact that Troma picked it up was also just a conundrum. Like it was definitely like not a Troma film that Troma had. So I think when people went to watch it, they were like, what is this? This is not what I want to see, screaming naked people or whatever. And so it kind of went away, and himself thought he had destroyed every film print, because again, it's one of those cases where this movie wasn't received well. It was misunderstood. I'm angry and bitter about it, and so I'm going to destroy the film elements. So he destroyed his film elements, and he called Troma to have them do the same thing. Luckily, Troma did not destroy the only remaining element of the film, even though they were instructed to.
Wow.
So when we got that movie, we did a whole featurette basically about this, and it's a podcast that was done all about this movie that was called The Vanity Project. We included it as a separate disc in the set for Student Confidential, and it's really
cool.
And again, I'm personally sometimes like, I think that the stories of how some of these films were made and why they were made and everything, and then the reception, and then now as time's gone on, how they're received now. I just love that. Like that to me is so intriguing, because all of us can watch the same movie and we're all going to walk away and have different experiences of that film. Mm-hmm. So hear this specific person that made that film, what their intention was, or how they thought the public would perceive that movie. It's always fascinating to me,
Yeah.
Is the filmmaker that you just mentioned, is he still alive?
He is not. No, he passed away. I believe it was like 3 years ago. So,
okay.
But we had started the process of doing the restoration before he passed. So he knew that his film was going to be renewed in a great version and be seen. And if only he could see the reception that has had now, it would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
Wow. So he's not rolling in his grave.
He is not rolling.
Nice. Well, and speaking of, as far as like the filmmakers and actors you get for your featurettes and interviews too. I mean, you got Tom Skerritt to talk about The Devil's Reign, which is great.
Wow.
And you got Xandor Vorkov for Dracula versus Frankenstein. I mean, that's great. And Nikki Henson for Psychomania. I mean, hearing from the filmmakers and actors some of these movies. It's just first-hand accounts of how this stuff happened is amazing.
Yeah.
And are most of the guys who do these commentaries, are most of the actors and actresses, are they usually pretty easy to work with? Or do you possibly have any stories of maybe it not working so well?
Any Klaus Kinski kind of stories?
Yeah, there you go. Any gunplay.
There's definitely been some times where we've approached, people, and maybe they demanded all kinds of money. I know that I get the feeling she wasn't hip to it. It probably never even left her manager's email, and she never found out. But we released this movie called Dead Sleep that Linda Blair was in, and I was at a convention that she was in, and I just wanted to bring her copies of it because I just thought, it'd be cool for her to have this,
Right.
She stepped away from her table and talked to me for a while, and it was really cool. She was telling me stories about the movie and everything.
Oh, cool.
Wow. she wanted to know. She's like, why didn't you guys contact me about this? And
really?
I had to tell her, I'm like, well, I don't, facilitate that side of the business, so I don't really know. And then when I inquired about it, I was told, oh, well, we hit up her manager and they wanted way too much.
Okay.
So,
that must happen sometimes.
I think that's probably the most common thing that happens is, hey, we want to get this person involved. And occasionally, and this is why we've actually stopped working with the big studios on, acquisitions of films because
interesting.
Well, there's so much hand-holding. We did Overboard is a great example. And
not a surprise when you guys put out that one, to be honest. Like that was like a romantic comedy with Goldie Hawn and
my wife loves it.
Yeah, there's a great story about how that came about, and it really involves our owner David. He was in a vineyard with a bunch of other filmmakers, and they were drinking copious amounts of wine, and they were discussing mainstream films that have an exploitation plot line. And he threw out Overboard as being that movie, which he's totally right. Like, if you look at it, especially in today's lens, I mean, he completely gaslights this woman into falling in love with him.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at it and I showed it to my daughter and she's like, this movie's fucking creepy. And I'm like, I mean, it is. I saw it with my parents in the movie theater when it came out. It was like a family film,
Wow. Okay.
But so when we were doing that, we were trying to film all sorts of featurettes for that, and MGM everything was just no, can't do this, can't do that. So, that type of hand-holding that happens with the studios, I think, is something that we don't want to have those shackles on us anymore. We want to be able to tell the stories about the movies, how we want to be able to tell them. And we don't really want any interference from, a team of lawyers that's telling us, oh, well, you can't do this for this reason or whatever. Who cares? Like,
right. Yeah.
You
just want to get the film out there for the masses to watch. And with,
Totally.
Yeah.
So, Ethan, apart from, say, Dawn of the Dead, are there any other holy grails of films that you really love to be able to release?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm trying to think. So forever, our owner's biggest want list film, which he got through Vinegar Syndrome, was Andy Warhol's Dracula.
Yes.
So the Paul Morrissey film.
Yeah.
He never thought he would get it because Paul Morrissey wanted too much money, and Paul Morrissey was a well-off man who didn't really need the money, so he set a very high price tag. And then one day, Joe Rubin walked into the Severin office and told our owner, David Gregory, well, you'll never believe what I got. And David said, well, what did you get? And he said, Dracula. And he goes, bullshit. and Joe's like, no, we did. And we got Frankenstein. And David started with, okay, well, what do you want? I'll trade you a ton of movies for... Yeah. And occasionally we'll do that, trade movies back and forth.
Oh, okay.
For one that we really want to do that maybe they got, and maybe we got something that they really want to do. And, that sort of bartering system happens. I don't know specifically... And I don't want to speak for David as far as what films. I know I had thrown out, Dead Alive, the Peter Jackson film.
Oh, sure.
Right,
Classic.
Been missing on home video forever. I would love to see Dead Alive, Meet the Feebles, those films. But
Meet the Feebles, yes.
Yeah.
Meet the Feebles is an amazing movie.
Yes.
Talk about it, just like classic, like just nasty, funny movie.
Yeah, I prefer it to the Muppets.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk about twisted.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I have seen recently that Peter Jackson apparently said that he is working on the restorations of those films.
Oh, okay.
Wow, great.
It's not going to be us. I do believe it's going to probably be through Sony or whoever, but
right. Okay.
As far as I think now for me, my favorite thing versus these sort of maybe Pantheon movies to me is the stuff that I don't know that just blows me away.
Right.
That's really what I think now, like working with the company, that I just I love that. I love it so much. And I did bring like a couple visual aids with me.
Oh, nice.
Like
cool.
I was gonna, The Pickup is a movie that we released.
Oh yeah.
And this is like a Robert Frost roughie, technically.
Wow.
It's a movie though. I can't say I'm the biggest fan of the roughie, as I think the roughie is a little
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's a very specific time period in which these movies were made, like the early '60s, where it's really about just being rough on women and
Like scum of the earth and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Invented by Herschel Gordon Lewis, the godfather of gore, but he invented Buffy as well. But the pickup is more than that. It's like a heist movie, and it's definitely like shot like a drive-in movie. And man, it is just an incredible movie. And I constantly am trying to sell this movie to people. I think it's so cool. It's a movie that I think Tarantino's clearly seen a lot and has used quite a bit. Just an amazing movie. Halfway House is another one that I recommend to people, like underseen Severin Gems. It's kind of like
know that one.
The Playboy Channel made a Lovecraft movie.
Okay.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, it's fabulous. Kenneth Hall directed it, who legendarily did like the Linnea Quigley horror workout.
Oh yes.
Oh,
wow.
I do it every morning.
Yeah, there you go. You and the zombies. Cliff Hall, his brother's in it, and Mary Warrenoff. Speaking of Warhol, people,
love Mary Warrenoff.
The best.
It's just a lot of fun. And another Kayla Janice movie acquisition, Red Light Bandit, which is a Brazilian film. If you guys are familiar with like Coffin Joe.
Oh yes.
Same time period as the Coffin Joe stuff, in the same basically part of favela that the Coffin Joe stuff was shot in. And just one of the most anarchic movies I've ever seen. Such a cool movie. Really, really, really neat. And again, speaking of cultural films, like I haven't seen a lot of Brazilian films to begin with, other than the Coffin Joe stuff. So to see another Brazilian film from the late '60s, just really, really cool. Very different. It's told in a way too, like it takes you maybe like 10 minutes to kind of get how the story is being told. Sort of like if you watch a French New Wave movie for the first time, you're like, oh, the way that the story is being told has a very, very specific style. Red Light Bandit is very much that way, but it's in this way that it's like from the jump, I was so intrigued by it because it's such a different narrative structure that I just thought was so cool.
Cool.
Nice.
Ethan, I also want to say something about Severin is that they often go the extra mile when they put out a release of some film because they often will include a collectible.
Yes.
For example, like the Blood Island set, you have like a little swizzle stick of Blood Island chlorophyll monster swizzle stick. I think I got this for Matt too. Is the horrors of Spider Island spider creature amazing? But I think my favorite Severin item that I have is for a film, an amazing movie that is basically a slasher version of a Bigfoot film called Night of the Demon, and it's basically Bigfoot just slaughtering these people for 90 minutes. But there's one famous or infamous scene in the movie where there's this guy on a motorcycle driving through the woods, and he stops for a moment to take a piss on the side of the road. And for whatever reason, in the bushes, the Bigfoot monster reaches out and grabs his penis and tears it off. And the guy goes running, screaming, bleeding to death. And you guys actually put out a Bigfoot monster figure
Yes, we did.
with a little severed penis in his hand.
Oh my God! You are kidding!
It is a pride of my collection. Is this? I mean, and it's a great likeness of the creature. But I mean, look at that. How many people have that? Come on,
I want it now.
You guys went the extra mile.
James, I mean, if you're gonna do something, do it right. You know,
exactly.
like, anybody can make a Bigfoot, but who can make a Bigfoot holding a dick?
Come on. I mean, you can't go wrong. So so again, it's the love you guys put into your releases. There's
a hand job joke in there somewhere, but
yes.
Right in, listeners.
And Ethan, again, some of these films you've been releasing, your box sets are amazing. We've mentioned many of the box sets. Some of your individual releases, I just want to mention again real quick. I mentioned The Baby, amazing film. The Devil's Rain is just a classic.
Yes.
Bloody Pit of Horror.
Yeah.
The two Nature Run Amok favorites, Grizzly and Day of the Animals.
Yes.
Ooh, fantastic. Werewolf in a Girl's Dormitory.
Yeah.
And
where else would you want to be a werewolf?
Exactly. And a really bizarre and really cool, creepy, I think it's Italian horror film called Spider Labyrinth.
Yes.
That
yes.
is really cool. So
Yeah.
there's just a few of the many titles you guys have that I own all those, and they're all great. And again, you guys are doing the Lord's work. if that Lord would be Lord Cthulhu. Yeah.
Ethan, I want to thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Yes.
This has been so great. Talk about a lot of twisted Blu-ray gems you've brought up. I've been writing down a lot of these things that you guys have said. But in addition to that stuff that Sean said, is there anything else special that we can look forward to in the next 6 months or so, or for our listeners?
Well, I can tell you guys, like, it's our 20th anniversary, as I mentioned. So we have a lot of treats on the way. We'll be doing our the Super Shock Festival in August, which we always do at Brain Dead Studios in LA, where we show mystery. We show 3 mystery titles that we'll be releasing. And because it's our 20th year, it's going to be big. It's going to be a big one.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Cool.
And you guys are going to be at Monster Palooza too, right?
We'll be at Monster Palooza. We'll be at Texas Frightmare. I'll be at Seattle Crypticon.
Damn.
And,
nice.
Yeah. Bunch of
awesome.
Creepy Con, Midsummer Scream. You guys do Midsummer Scream?
I think, is that the one we went to one time, Matt?
Yes. The time that I went, I thought it was great. I had a really good time.
Yeah, and we'll have a booth at Monster Palooza too this coming up. So
and we'll come visit you, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Please. Yeah, we'd love that.
The one thing I have learned from this episode, and I'm sure listeners out there can understand, is, I think physical media, it's here to stay. There's a lot of stuff coming out that we've never seen before. So check Severin Films on a regular basis. You never know what they're going to have.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So guys, what do you say we raise our glasses and give a toast to Ethan Hull and Twisted Blu-ray Gems?
Woo! Twisted. Get away from me, Jess Franco.
Time for a listener shout out.
Twisted shout out.
Oh, it's Twisted. Oh, my back. Ouch.
Sean, take it away.
Oh, yeah. So we have a message that actually it came to our website. We have a new Monster Party website, which I hope you guys are checking out. It's awesome. It's fantastic. And, we have a little contact us notice on our websites if you want to contact us. So we got our first submission sent to our Monster Party podcast, a little message. And this was from Joe Eden. He's a fan of us, and he writes, "Dear Monster Party hosts, Joe Eden here from Pennsylvania. Have been and continue to be a huge fan of your podcast. I look forward to every episode. Also love your audio commentaries, which I own all of. Long live physical media. I wanted to give a shout out to Amok Time Toys. I know you guys have mentioned it a number of times. Well, Amok Time also has a store called Monstars Toys, which is in my area. Seriously, a 15-minute drive from my house. I know you guys are huge collectors and value the brick and mortar stores. Again, great job on all your shows. So thankful Monster Party exists." He mentions our recent genre comfort foods episode, and he says, "Monster Party is my comfort food." Thanks again, Joe.
Thank you,
Joe. We should go visit him.
Yes,
we gotta go visit him and go to the store and make it an outing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Joe. We really appreciate it. And again, historically, you're the first person to message us from our website. So thank you very much for the very nice message.
Yes, thank you.
Wow, that's wonderful. Well, if I may, I just want to throw out a few shout outs here. I want to congratulate, big shout out to Mike Hill, makeup and creature designer who just won the Academy Award for best makeup and effects for Frankenstein.
Nice, great.
Frankenstein. And it was so great to see him go up there and get his statuette. That was wonderful. He always makes these fantastic statues that are at Monster Palooza and they're in the museum. And an amazing guy. Hopefully we'll get him on the show one day. But I also want to give another shout out to Amy Madigan, who won the Best Supporting Actress Award for Weapons. I know you guys weren't big fans of Weapons,
but she was great.
She's the best part of it.
Absolutely.
I love the film. I thought she was great. Kudos to her. And it's funny, sometimes when I'm watching these, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, horror films, they're making a big push in the whole Academy Award world. So kudos to both of them. Congratulations. And as a side note or a side shout out, I want to give a shout out to an old friend of mine, Leland Douglas. I worked with Leland at Playboy years ago. Leland used to be a butler at the Playboy Mansion back in the 80s. He was there for about 7 years or so. I worked with him when he was writing for one of the projects that we were doing. This was Playmate of the Year. Just recently, he's put together a Kickstarter campaign to help him do this book called The Butler Did It, My Wild Nights at the Playboy Mansion. And he told me all these amazing stories about
I want to read
the
this.
Playboy Mansion. And I've already put in my 2 cents. He's halfway there. He's got maybe another 15, 20 days left. If you guys want to check it out, go to Kickstarter, check out The Butler Did It, My Wild Nights at the Playboy Mansion. Make a little donation. You can either get various the digital copy or a soft copy, or I'm getting the one where you have the inscription that he's going to write. So anyway, he's told me all kinds of stories when we were working together, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you should write a book one day. And here it is.
There we go.
Nice.
Not really monster related, but Mr. Hefner was a big horror fan too. So who knows what's going to be in this book, but I would check it out. So there's some shout outs for you.
Nice.
Cool. Thanks, Larry.
Thanks, Larry.
And Matt, I believe you have a correction.
Yes,
Whoa.
yes, I do.
What did we do now?
No, it's me. It's me as usual. So the last episode, I said that NECA had the license to Star Wars, and they don't. Okay?
Dear God.
And it was James that pointed it out. He showed up at my house at 4 a.m, rapping on the door saying, they don't have the license. And so I felt I had to share my shame, I guess it would be.
Well, it was
that
when
I
we were
got this
talking-
wrong.
It was when we were talking about those Don Post figures.
That's correct.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And the truth of it is that
you mean the Ben Cooper?
I'm sorry, the Ben Cooper.
Correction. Next episode, you have to correct it.
Yeah, remind me in the next episode. I'll do a correction.
It's going to be like a correction chain letter.
But that it would, of course, be a cash cow for whoever owns the license.
That's true.
Which I guess is Hasbro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, Matt and I got talking about showing up at Comic-Con at the Hasbro booth in those original Star Wars costumes to nudge them to actually put those figures out.
Yeah. No, it would be a great idea. It would be nice if somehow, I guess NECA has the license, but do they have, could another company put out Ben Cooper toys? I don't know if it works that way, but
yeah.
But it'd be nice if somehow someone could do those as figures, because you're right. That would be a gold mine for them.
They'd have to come to terms.
It's interesting because if you think about it, it's like there's Ben Cooper and then who they got the license for. So Ben Cooper, was it, for the $6 Million Man or for Batman or whatever. But you know what, Matt? I just want to commend you. Look, we're not afraid to admit that we made a mistake. Look, I have, and we get very passionate about certain things. Sometimes we get things wrong, but I appreciate, Matt, that you bring this up, because I'd rather us be right.
Exactly.
Than
what,
yeah.
Larry, I'm tired of lying to people. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to hey, it's all about NECA. They got the Star Wars figures. And then some poor schmuck goes into Target and Mister, do you have the NECA Star Wars? And then he just makes a fool of himself, and I'm to blame. And I'm tired of being that guy.
But Matt Weinhold said this.
Matt Weinhold from Monster Parties.
But you know what? This actually gives me a Comic-Con cosplay idea, because I think we should all get Star Wars Ben Cooper costumes and walk around the convention that way.
I do it.
First of all, I couldn't fit. That's
part of the fun.
That's the appeal.
We'll let it out.
Come on.
You can be Chewbacca, Larry.
James, that's ridiculous. That's
You could
I would
you could be Jabba Palace Leia.
You can be a Grimorian guard.
Okay. All right.
Oh, well, you crossed the line there, Sean.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, you just said Jabba. Come on.
Well, this has been great.
But yeah, so anyway, there it is.
All right.
Now, you heard us mention that we're going to be at Monsterpalooza. So just to clarify, yes, we will be at the Monsterpalooza convention with our own Monster Party booth, as usual. The dates of the show this year are May 29th, 30th, and 31st at the Pasadena Convention Center. We would love to see you. There's nothing more that we love at Monsterpalooza. I think we can all agree that when our listeners stop by and chat with us.
Oh yes.
Love it.
It's awesome.
We get to meet them in person. And then, invariably these conversations end up on the podcasts, our special Monsterpalooza episodes.
Yes.
So if there's any way that you can make it, again, May 29th through 31st here in Pasadena. And even if you can't make it.
No. Just make it. Just make it. Okay. Do whatever you have to do. Steal, lie, cheat, scam, get your ass to Pasadena.
It is a wonderful show. It's like no other. So yeah.
True.
Yeah, you got to make it if you can.
And if this information about us appearing at Monsterpalooza was not exciting enough, hold on to your wooden stakes, Monster Partiers, because we, Monster Party, the podcast, have been nominated for the 24th Annual Rondo Hatton Classic Horror Awards.
Yeah.
Dun, dun.
It's happened again. They love us. They really love us.
They do. We've been nominated.
We're nominated, and it's very easy to vote for us.
That's right.
And all you have to do is you just go to rondoaward.com, and there are instructions about how to fill out your ballot, and there's some help on our website, monsterpartyhq.com. But when it comes to filling out the ballot, just know that, sure, it'd be great if you voted for everything, and certainly vote for everything you want to vote for.
Yeah.
But one thing you must do is vote for us in the podcast category, which is number 20 in the ballot.
That's right.
Just if you need to, if time is an issue, go right to 20.
Yeah.
Just vote for us and then get on with your life.
Maybe that's all they want to do, man. Maybe they just want to
Maybe
go
you just
and
want to do
vote
that.
for number 20 best podcast, Monster Party podcast, and walk
Exactly.
away,
And Larry, we're not putting down anybody else who's been nominated.
Of course.
It's not about that at all. What it is about is us winning.
Yes.
We want to win.
Yes.
We must win.
We've been nominated so often. We're like the Pat Paulson of the Rondo nominations.
Yes, but
For anybody who gets that joke,
last
congratulations.
year,
Google it,
we've been
kids.
growing, but my friend, we've been getting closer and closer, and I just feel
Yes.
this
Yes,
is our
it's
year.
true.
So,
True.
Monster Partiers, we need your help. Make
Please.
me get happy about this.
Please.
Let's Larry happy.
Oh, yes, make Larry happy.
Come on.
So great.
poor Larry.
Do I ask for much? Do I?
He asked for a lot, but that's a whole nother episode. But we're getting tired of getting the mop and soaking up his tears.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
turn his frown upside down.
Yeah,
That's right,
give me
that's right.
Something happy to talk about at the next Monster Palooza.
It would be nice. It would be
Yeah,
nice.
but
So,
we
anyway.
would really appreciate your vote.
Yes.
Yes. So,
Absolutely.
Get to it.
And another great way to support Monster Party is by wearing Monster Party merch. And where can you find this merch, you may ask? Well, that's easy. On our eBay store, which is called Monster Party Store on eBay. Or you can just go on eBay and type in Monster Party Podcast. What do we have up there? Well, we've got Monster Party t-shirts with different designs. We've got the Monster Party shot glass, the Monster Party cloth PPE mask. We've got the legendary Monster Party cap. And if you buy our merch from eBay and also happen to be a Patreon member, we will throw in free surprise goodies, courtesy of our good friends Jason Lindsay at Biff Bang Pow Toys and foam fabber extraordinaire Ted Haynes.
Two twisted gems of such sparkling radiance that they make other gems say, why bother?
And Sean, I think I heard some mention about a website. Can you expound on that, please?
Yes, I will expound. Yes, monsterpartyhq.com. It's the one-stop shop for everything Monster Party. Guys, anybody listening to this right now, we have over 300 episodes of Monster Party.
300.
Many of which are a couple hours long. I mean, we have a huge library from years and years of us talking about all this cool stuff. And all those episodes can be accessed at monsterpartyhq.com. All our swag, all our show notes, our social media links, our Patreon access, blogs, and film reviews. Speaking of The Baby, I just recently put up a review of The Baby on my Cult Communique page.
What are the odds?
Yeah. So,
and I behave like a baby on my blog.
That's right. Matt has a great little article on practical effects. So all kinds of good stuff on there. And we're always adding more. So please check out our website. And that's basically the only place you have to go to listen to our episodes.
Yep.
Nice.
And speaking of merch, we also have the TeePublic site, tpublic.com. tpublic.com, use your Monster Party podcast, where we have all our merchandise, t-shirts, mugs, tote bags of all kinds of cool Monster Party inspired artwork and designs. If you like our podcast, you'll love all this stuff. So check it out.
Yes, you will.
Now, this Patreon I mentioned, we've been talking about all these amazing Blu-ray titles, and my head is swimming with all these possibilities. And I got to say, I cannot remember what this Patreon thing is all about. Can you please refresh my memory?
Okay. Well, you know how Shawn Sheridan drained all his life savings to buy every Blu-ray Severin Films has to offer, causing him to become homeless and panhandling for money for gas to power the generator that provides electricity to his Blu-ray player and widescreen TV. You remember that, right?
Yeah, I did.
It's why Gina left him. Anyway, compared to Sean, you'll only have to panhandle a tiny amount of money for Patreon to unlock a ton of exclusive Monster Party bonus content. We're talking exclusive audio episodes, our special shows like Monster Party Masterpieces, Monster Party on the Road, our popular Toy Time series, and my soon-to-debut off-the-cuff talk show, Blah, Blah, Blah with Matt Weinhold. We also have our behind-the-scenes convention footage, our legendary Japan trip video diary, and vintage horror and science fiction edited by our resident Lyscarian, John Bordeaux, and more.
Well, Matt, that sounds like a lot of premium extras, and I would love to take advantage of it, but I got to say, I'm looking on eBay for a Bigfoot figure holding a severed penis, and it ain't cheap. I'm not sure I can afford this bounty. How much does it cost?
Okay, so for the price I would pay to provide Shawn Sheridan a bowl of soup and enough gas for 3 more minutes of viewing time of The Devil's Reign, you could become a Monster Party patron. And that price is $5. $5 a month.
What?
That's pretty good. You know, you can't get a deluxe 2-pack action figure set of The Mummy and the Curse of the Jackal for that price.
No, you can't. But Severin Films will make one eventually.
Yes.
Okay, well, I can't pass that up. How do I sign up?
Well, all you have to do is you go to patreon.com, you go to Monster Party, you click join, you follow the instructions, and next thing you know, you'll be as happy as Gina Sheridan in her new life as Mrs. Craig Charles.
And let's remind our listeners that we are on social media, on Facebook at Monster Party TV, YouTube at Monster Party TV, Instagram, X, and Blue Sky at Monster Party HQ. And wherever you're listening to us, please take a moment, find a way to send us your thoughts, write us a review. We'd always love reviews on iTunes. Those are great. And whatever review you send us, we will read it on the air.
And we won't just read your review. We'll include it in the George Lucas is Rolling in His Grave box set. On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I'm Shawn Sheridan.
I'm Larry Strothe.
And I'm James GONIS.
Keep America strong!
And seek out those twisted Blu-ray gems.
But brace yourselves for those Jess Franco zooms.
We're gonna zoom, zoom, zoom. You got a spooky lighting setup.
Yeah,
there.
you got like
I should probably turn on another light. Yes, I know it's like backlit.
But this
like
isn't.
crazy.
We don't record the video for this, so don't worry.
Okay,
It's just. For,
but it's
very atmospheric. Yes.
No,
it doesn't look that way in here. Maybe it does. I don't know. I don't.
It looks like you're going to kill us, which is cool.
Yeah, which is a great way to start this, right?
Absolutely.
Looks like you should have the V for Vendetta mask on right now,
right?
And telling us what's coming.
Right, exactly. Like, I'm demanding sums of money, for some cause. It's noble, of course.
Well, Larry hasn't joined us yet, so I'm assuming you have him. And so we'll,
holding him for ransom.
I mean, we'll bargain with you to a point, but
I'll just start producing pieces of them as the episode goes.
All right. See, it's fun. It's like a scavenger hunt.
Exactly.
I like your Halloween 3 masks in the background.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, absolutely.
I think I see it. Is it a Tombs of the Blind Dead poster back there?
Yes,
okay.
yes, I do have a Tombs of the Blind Dead poster.
Nice.
As well as a Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue.
Nice.
I like the Belgian posters because they're smaller.
Oh, I love Belgian posters.
Yeah.
Beautiful artwork.
Great. And since I'm a record collector, records eat up so much wall space.
Yeah, I can see.
True.
Looking for these like smaller things to decorate your walls with. Belgians fit the bill rather nicely.
Nice.
Those damn Belgians and their perfectly sized posters. What do they think of next?
Yeah, I have so many wall eater posters, like French Grand posters, which of course are amazing. But my wife will look at me like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
So do you have like a designated room in the house for this stuff, or is it encroaching on another rooms too?
So I mean, I think it's pretty good. My wife would definitely say it's a game of chess, right? Like,
I know well.
But babe, this poster's so cool. Like, I've got to have my UK basket case poster in the living room.
Of course.
And she's entertained it. And we have in our living room, we have like very high, like one wall that's like very high ceilings. So we've done that wall with posters.
Right.
Yeah. But of course, I still have a closet that's full of like framed posters. And I had a friend of mine that's like, you should just rotate them out like an art gallery. And I'm like, I don't have that kind of time that I'm getting on.
Well, now, wait a minute now. So one of the things that I discovered and my wife got me for a Christmas and a birthday, getting these front load frames. Oh. And it is cool because it's fairly easy to swap them out and you give each poster its day in the sun.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I do like that idea. That's pretty cool. And that way you can just have this revolving gallery, right?
Right, yeah.
Right,
Although I have to say, my wife has been pretty great to me over the years because in our bedroom right now, we have the I Walked with a Zombie re-released half sheet.
Oh.
And then right by our bed is a 2-sheet rolled King Kong Escapes.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Signed
Beautiful
by
poster.
Hiro Nakajima and Akira Takarada and Linda Miller.
Well, those are really cool posters to have.
Yeah. That's what I keep telling her. Like, you should consider yourself lucky.
That's right.
You know what? There are so many women who would wish they could be in this relationship.
I mean, they're chick magnets. Let's face it.
Well, it's pretty funny too because we have friends that come over who are not into the mania that I am.
Right.
But when they walk into our house, everybody is drawn to the room I'm in right now, which is known as the record room, which is essentially a formal dining room. That when we bought our house, I'm like, this could work because I can put all my stuff in here, right? And so when people come over, they're just naturally like drawn to this room. It's not like you walk into people's houses and it's everybody's got a record room. So I think it just attracts people because it's very different to them. But it's also inviting, like, what is this? What's in here? And it's inevitably everybody ends up hanging out in here. And I'll make eye contact with my wife and just kind of be like, She's just like, shut up.
Yeah. My wife has been the same way, although we'll have these moments where I have my stuff everywhere, and she has her designated places, and she's got her cabinets. And then what'll she put in her cabinets? Oh, I don't know. Some weird mummified insects, a mummified bat, a statue of the Elephant Man. So we're not really that far apart.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah, my wife as well is into the petrified insects, and
Really?
like we have a mummified fetal pig.
Oh, wow.
And she's also gotten really into, the running joke is she's a mantis farmer. She always has like pet mantises.
Like praying mantis?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my God. Ethan, when I was a little kid, I had a pet praying mantis. I had a little terrarium. And it was the coolest. It was like I played the deadly mantis with it all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure I'd love that.
They're fantastic, fascinating creatures.
They are. They're gorgeous,
really
beautiful.
hard.
Did you put
really
a little
are. And
Washington monument into the terrarium?
yeah. I had little Matchbox cars. It would
Fake
climb
snow.
over. Are there many praying mantises in California though? I never see them out here.
In my yard, there are.
Really?
So,
We have to keep saving their lives from our cats.
Oh wow! We saw
Yeah.
my wife saw one in our yard, and I was really jealous because I wanted to see it, because
Gorgeous.
they're not afraid of anything. They just move like little. They're just so cool.
They're elegant.
Yeah,
They really are. And I mean, they have this amazing, uncanny ability to camouflage themselves, which is why I kind of feel like you just don't really see them.
yeah, true, yeah.
I don't know. She's gotten into some of the different species, and I couldn't tell you what the species is
wow.
I have now. But it looks like a leaf almost. And I don't know. It's amazing. And to watch it murder a cricket is just fascinating.
Oh my God! See what I would do, Ethan, when I was a kid. There was a big field across the street from where we lived. I grew up in Pennsylvania, and I forget how I got this. My dad was a biology teacher. Maybe he got it for me, brought it home one time. But it was pretty big, and I kept it in a little terrarium. And I would go across the street and catch grasshoppers and throw it into the terrarium and watch it. And like the praying mantis would just be like a statue, and the cricket or the grasshopper just jumping around, and suddenly just like it would like reach out and like start eating the head, and like I would just watch
that's the best part.
Fascinating. I mean, it's so weird.
I always go for the head first.
Yeah. I mean, you got to, right?
Yeah. No, the eyes
That's
crunch,
cool.
and then the brain, and then
That's cool though that she's into the mantises.
Yeah. It's initially when she got into it, I was a little like, what? Like mantises? And then instantly I was quickly won over by, okay, these are incredible creatures. And I'm just happy I get to watch it.
Yeah. Does she have some in the house? Like she have terrariums? Like she keeps them?
Yeah, she has a terrarium.
Wow.
Where we keep it, and she's into fish as well. So we have like a fish tank with a few frogs and different.
Wow, cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So my wife loves little glass animals. The more refined, the better. And I got her a nice praying mantis. And the fact that thing came from Amazon and arrived in one piece is a miracle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. I've definitely heard some stuff being delivered to my house via Amazon where it's like, oh, they're package just whack,
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Excuse me, is this part of the show?
Yes, Larry.
We're almost done, actually, Larry.
This is an episode on praying mantises we're deciding to do. Yeah.
Praying mantises in Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Right. This is Larry, Ethan.
Hi, Ethan.
The fourth member of our group.
Hey,
And
Matt.
Ethan, thanks so much for doing this. By the way,
Yes.
you're obviously a kindred spirit, and
Yeah.
we have. I think what we really want to get into the whole process of acquiring a lot of the films that Severn does. Just seeking them out, and of course talking about the crazy movies that you guys put out. But just
how do you find them?
The other side
what
of
do you
it.
do to them?
Yeah.
Commentaries.
Yeah. So basically, is what I can tell you is,
don't tell us now. Don't tell us yet.
Proper. We're gonna do like a little intro. I'll introduce you.
A quick 20-minute intro, and we'll get right to you.
No, it's not going to be 20 minutes. Ethan.
And I'll first ask you about how you got
Larry's
into this stuff
our
a little bit.
resident joke destroyer.
No, I like a good joke. But Ethan,
not when I tell them.
That's not true. But Matt's going to open the show with his creepy voice. We
Thank
introduce
you.
ourselves.
Okay.
We're going to say what the topic is. And then Sean's going to give this great introduction. And that's when we're going to go to town. And I'm hoping Ethan, that we could go for maybe between
80 minutes, something like that?
75, 80 minutes or so?
Or 4 hours, either way, something.
You know what?
Lines.
I know we could. But
Yeah, I know.
Oh, we could, yes.
Yeah.
We have.
Easily turn into a dead concert, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, please,
Larry,
God,
we're
no.
I know. Absolutely.
So, guys, what do you say we raise our glasses and give a toast to Ethan Hull and Twisted Blu-ray Gems?
Woo! Twisted. Get away from me, Jess Franco.
Don't worry, he's just zooming on your bush.
And I've got plenty to share.
All right, I'm logging off.
Ethan, thank you so much for being with us,
Thank
man.
you guys
Thanks so much,
man.
Appreciate
Fun.
it. It was
And,
We'll stop by your booth at Monsterpalooza.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And anytime if you have something very special that you want us to plug, just let us know and we'll do it.
Yeah, like a Bigfoot with another penis or something.
Yeah, if you do the re-release of that,
I missed out.
sign us up for 4. Because Larry will want 2.
I want to nerd out
I like
over.
that he just had that right on deck. Like,
It's
You know
on the
what?
shelf behind me.
I've waited for this moment.
Exactly.
I want a life-size one that I can turn into a fountain.
Okay, I'm logging out again.